Hello, my name's Ed Poole. I'm a member of the Green Party, and this month we have our national executive elections, and I'm interviewing candidates for the various roles. Today I'm interviewing Luanne Thornton and Rosa Al Baldawi for Equality and Diversity coordinators. Hiya.
Hello.
Hi.
Why did you join the Green Party, and why do you think other people should?
I joined the Green Party after the 2019 general election. I'd always been engaged politically, but as a young queer woman, I didn't initially see party politics as a space for someone like me. But back in 2019, I was at university studying, and I was in a student union bar surrounded by people celebrating the Conservative win. And I realised I had to do something. So I joined the Greens. And it made it, that moment made it clear to me that we need to do a better job in terms of reaching different communities. Many people, especially those from underrepresented background, already support us, but don't always know that party politics is a space for them. And that's why I was very much feel like more needs to be done. And the Green Party is the only party consistently standing up for social, economic, and environmental justice. And it's just a genuinely exciting time to get involved with the Greens as well.
So I joined 2 years ago because the state of the UK politics was and continues to be just full of despair, inequality, and like division that continues to rise. And I was looking around, and the Green Party was like the only party offering hope. Um, and since joining, like I've just been filled with such a sense of community, fighting for a better world. Um, I do believe that we can become the party which like opens its arms to everyone, and fighting for a world free from colonialism, hate, and division. And I think we should all do it together. And I think more people getting involved, the better.
What do you think of the Green Party electoral strategy known as Target to Win?
Target to Win has been like a cornerstone of our electoral strategy, leading to like major local gains and now 4 MPs. But we can't be complacent with it. We still need to grow and evolve alongside Target to Win, alongside better communications, better storytelling. It's not just about canvassing on the doorstep. It's about showing that we do get things done. It's about being present and seen in local communities, building sense of trust with people on the ground by caring about their problems and standing in solidarity.
Just to bring some like direct examples of that. So I'm based in Bath and North East Somerset, where we have 3 Green councillors, so Sam, Saskia and Joanna. And they've done some real groundwork on campaigning, specifically around Joanna and Saskia's neighbouring ward, which is Walcott, around the Busgate. And now if we go door knocking in Walcott, the people were door knocking are saying they'll be voting Green in 2027 because of the fact of the Busgate and the campaigning and the hard work that can be seen. And there's numerous examples up and down the country where the hard work of our elected politicians is proving popular with people. And it shows a real difference in each community as well.
What is your feeling on electoral pacts?
So electoral pacts have to work for us and stay true to our core Green values. We think that working with like-minded people and parties is important, especially with the rise of the far right and the rise of reform. But I think the working with people places an emphasis on the fact that how outdated our electoral system is, the fact that we do have first past the post, and we do really need to work for proportional representation so that splitting the votes doesn't matter. People can vote for what they truly believe in. But I think it is important that we work to people where we stick to our core values as well.
The far right have historically been very good at this. because they end up working together with people who don't necessarily hold all of their views, but like do hold some of their views, and then they work together, they make them feel included, and their movement grows. I think it's high time that the left do the same. Democracy works best when there are many parties representing lots of different values and lots of different people. We want to work with those people that share our values. We want to show how collaboration works. We want to show how community works, and we want to use this to win, importantly.
How do we make a bigger impact for the media?
I think Rosa touched on this a bit earlier, but it's about telling powerful stories, creating a narrative, how our Greens that are elected are making the difference, and telling and shouting about that locally, but also on a national scale as well as uplifting underrepresented voices, because they are the ones impacted most by inequality and the climate crisis. And we just need to show a more humane side of politics that people can relate to as well.
On top of that, mainstream media channels don't want to take us seriously, because our policies call for fully transparent, independent media, which would actively go against them. This is why we need to work with independent and local media sources to get our voices and story out. In our opinion, social media in particular is going to play an increasingly important role in our impact. And so getting to grips with it now seems like the best move.
How do we attract more non-white voters and members to the Green Party?
So we talk about how climate justice is intertwined with racial, social and economic justice. But we need to back this up with action. We need to show and be more actively anti-racist in both our structures and our messaging. So at the Young Green Hustings for Leadership, there was a question asked to them saying, how do you feel about the Green Party's decision to omit any explicit reference to racism from its 2024 manifesto? And this question highlights the gap between our values and our actions. And we need to centre racial justice explicitly and not just imply it.
So historically to now, people of colour have been dismissed, attacked, persecuted by politics and policies. So we can't expect these communities to come to us because there's so little trust right now. We have to go to them first, where they are, and we have to show up for their causes. So we should be at protests. We should be at counter protests to the far right. We should be organizing with causes like the Palestinian Solidarity Movement. We should be amplifying voices who speak up against colonialism to Free Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. This way, we can build trust that's not based on words, but our actual actions, because we're all fighting the same capitalistic structures and we need to be fighting together.
How can the Green Party assure disabled people that we're listening to them?
This is really vital work, especially with the current regressive welfare reforms harming disabled people this year and previous years. So in my everyday life, I'm employed as a disability advisor. And I've done work this year highlighting the ineffectiveness of disabled student allowance reforms and how inaccessible the process is. And I want to transfer the awareness that I get from my professional life into that in terms of politics as well. So as a Green Party, we need to ensure that our venues, events and communications are fully accessible. We need disability and neurodiversity framework that isn't just a tick box, but as a way to transform how we operate. So, for example, in my line of work, working as a disability advisor within a university, we've moved away from the traditions of reasonable adjustments and decided that this is just standard good practice that people are doing, and it should just be every day. So we've introduced that, and I think that's what we need to do within the Green Party, that adding alt text to comms is standard good practice. Booking a venue that has accessibility toilets, is accessible via ramp, has a quiet space. These should be standard practice, and where these venues might be a bit more money for like local parties or something. It's about working with organisations to see how we might be able to use those spaces and collaborate together. Maybe it's about helping local parties fund these spaces as well, but we need to make our party accessible, and then we can really listen to what disabled people can bring as well. And it'll only amplify the voices of those already involved, as well as encourage more people to join us as well.
How should we handle transphobia in the Green Party?
So trans people right now are really facing increased violence, and the media is whipping up hate in like the form of debates about trans people's rights. And I think it's a real time to take. It's time to take like a real stand against transphobia, like against this division, and we need to stand up for our trans siblings.
And I just want to reiterate what Rosa said, that transphobia is hate and it has no place in our party. Trans rights are human rights. Trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary identities are valid. Just like we reject racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and homophobia, we must stand firmly against transphobia. We must be a party where every LGBTIQA plus person feels safe, heard, and empowered.
Right. How important is social and economic class in politics?
It's extremely important. So class inequality is deeply rooted not only in politics, but our general society. The concentration of power in the hands of the 1% is a clear structural issue to our society. And not only do we need policies that challenge that inequality, redistributing power, wealth, and opportunity, we need to do more to let people of all social and economic backgrounds know that we are a party that represents them, but also a party that they can be part of as well.
Class inequality means that politics is like kept at an inaccessible level for like so many people, because they have an ever increasing pressure to put food on their table, pay for a roof over their head. Like the bills are increasing, so people from lower social and economic classes end up struggling more and more and have less time and like mental energy to put into politics, or even just engage with it. So this means like we as the Green Party need to be making sure we're like offering real, tangible and economic support to people from lower economic backgrounds so that they can participate within our movement. Otherwise, we're not actually a party for the everybody, but I think we should be.
What other issues are important to you?
The biggest thing for me personally is international solidarity. Like we cannot stay silent about war, about genocide, about suffering anywhere like around the globe. Our values cannot stop at our own border. We have to speak up and stand with oppressed people worldwide.
And for me, as well as working as a disability advisor, I work as a sexual violence liaison officer, which means offering support for students that have gone through sexual violence or domestic abuse. So I think for me, gender-based violence is something I feel very passionate about creating preventative work and policies that really protect those experiencing this. It's also important that we look at reforms to the criminal justice system as well in regards to this as well.
Why do you think we should vote for you, and what will you do if you're elected?
So one of the reasons why I think that Rosa and I are great candidates is that we bring a professional and political track record on getting things done within the remit of a Equality and Diversity Co-ordinator. One of the main things that we would like to see done is investing in leadership development for underrepresented members. So recently, I've been co-chair of the Young Greens, and one of the great things within the Young Greens is a programme called 30 Under 30, which is a space where we select 30 young people and train them up. And I think if we had something like that for other underrepresented members, it would give them a platform not only to become our elected officials, but also to become local party chairs, to be more active in terms of door knocking, to go on to become a staff member, whether it's field organizer, working in IT. Like, there's lots of valuable skills that our underrepresented members can have. And I think if we work on different political training schemes to uplift them, it's going to be really, really valuable.
Something else that we want to do is organise anti-racism and unconscious bias training. So I've been working quite closely with the Federation of Young European Greens over the past year in my role as International Officer for the Young Greens. And we held an event in Croatia that was about the links between misogyny, racism and speciesism, to really get to grips with how like the language that we are using around these subjects is often either gender-based or it's based on like animals and animal rights. And so this kind of like unconscious bias that we accidentally like fall into every day, like there are training programs that we can organize, that we can lead, that we can make sure our party like feels safe for everybody because everybody's on the same page.
Great.
And in addition to that, we'd want to launch more education initiatives around gender diversity. At the moment, our party is quite divided by this. So to create a more trans-inclusive environment, we want to provide the space and the education around this issue as well.
So we're focused on intersectional justice, recognizing how race, gender, class, disability, and more intersect, and sustainable change for communities and the planet. We want to continue building grassroots power, amplifying marginalized voices, and making the Green Party movement that's like bold, compassionate, and transformative.